I clarify if I'm, that if I'm not certain about something. Otherwise, I state it as I know it to be true.
Mm.
And for anyone that's been watching or listening, they know that. So if I say, listen, I can't really verify this, I'm not personally sure about this, but look at this. Or I'll say, I know this for a fact, and like the Rockefellers are putting cancer in the vaccines, and why haven't I been arrested for slander? Slandering the Rockefeller family. Why hasn't Alex Jones, who really is out there and attacking these people, and other people like that, Jesse Ventura and all these other people, all they do is demonize them and call them nuts. And the same thing with any of these other truthers. The great Anthony Hilder, who not many people are aware of his work. He's not as well known as far as, but he is the original. Him and G. Edward Griffin, who made the chemtrail film recently, produced the chemtrail film, What in the World Are They Spraying, and the new one that's coming out, The Great Culling. It's coming, baby. It really is. Now, this stuff is real. Okay? This stuff is documented from history
and archaeology.
So you got to say it's I can't say that I've clarified this research, but hey,
no, that's why I'm just.
I think it's very interesting. The evidence is there
of a hidden past,
and
then I'm throwing out theories and maybe my ideas, and I would like for other people
to give us a call 772-905-3018. Let's see if Vinny's crazy. 772-905-3018. All right, it's Howard Nema and Vinny Bdatruth, and you're listening to informedradio.com and live streaming from Death to the New World Order, D2NWO.com, and UnitedTruthSeekers.com. You can get the live stream broadcast. All right, cool. That's interesting stuff.
And just to, I guess, finish it off then real quick is to add one more thing. We're talking about outer space a lot here. Also, you got to realize that there's a whole big underground thing that there's a cover up too.
I know about this, and this goes through the New World Order Airport, which is Denver, Colorado.
Denver. Yeah.
The Denver Airport. Google the Denver Airport and check out the images. Google images of the Denver.
Jesse Ventura.
She did a whole show on it. They're all of this Nazi, horrific Nazi, and showing you to like end of the world stuff, submit to tyranny. Or be destroyed, and the people lovingly tyranny. Those horrible New World Order masks that we always see, that gas mask with the stormtrooper in an international airport, ladies and gentlemen,
women, children,
with a pale horse outside. And you say, well, that's because of the Denver Broncos. Well, the Broncos are not white.
No, they're blue and orange. I believe.
And the horse that they would say, no, the horse. I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I'm saying the Denver Broncos colors.
Oh, the hell of the Cuppers. No, the horse, when you see a Denver Broncos, if they're using a Bronco in the imagery of the Denver Broncos, it's a brown horse, not a white horse. But yes, there is a pale white horse.
Which is from Revelation.
Which is from Revelation. Behold a pale horse. And it's just frightening as all hell. And underneath that is a tremendous facility, underground. You can't even call it a city. It's an underground country or an underground
military base.
Military base that's the size of like of a state.
Yeah.
Of almost the whole state.
So that's one thing that a lot of people there's those now that
I know that military, I know about. Now we're getting into stuff that I'm familiar with. Yeah. This
and
stuff,
then I'm going to tell you that thousands of years ago there were things, and there's
we know about the
in South America.
They had these traps, so people would go in there, they form these traps and die, like in the pyramids.
Like, yeah.
So sure they had underground passages. That's all known. Yeah.
And South America especially.
Under the White House is a mile and a half or something like that.
There's a lot, and again, most people have live in this little bubble. And these people are in space, underground, underwater.
Now they want to go on another planet. They want to they want to colonize.
And see, that's another thing. That just reminded me of a point I wanted to make while talking about this information. If you're someone who is having a tough time believing what I'm saying, and it sounds far-fetched, let's point out where we're at right now with science. We got scientists right now genetically splicing animals.
Yes, spider goats. So making silk out of milk. I mean, real silk.
And it's private companies because again,
glowing cats.
Yeah, glow in the dark animals.
Glow in the dark animals.
And they have babies, and the babies glow in the dark.
Glow in the dark.
I've seen that.
Fluorescent animals. Look this up. You can't make this stuff up.
So where we're at right now.
Dolly the sheep started it.
Yeah. The first one.
Cloning.
So there's a lot of, again, the government and them, they got to put on the image of they're the good guy and they don't do these horrible things, and they pass the laws. But there's private companies like everything else that are doing these, and if you do some research, you can find a lot of these admitting to some of the things we were just saying, and a lot worse and more.
Stuff
so
that goes on.
There's cloning going on.
Oh yeah. So in Cold Spring Harbor.
Okay, so we could establish that we could create our own creatures, and we could change wheat, and we could make this and that. So
Monsanto is changing everything with the GMO.
So speaking of Monsanto, why can't Monsanto, let's say, go to the moon or Mars or somewhere and create animals and trees and an environment and then populate it with people, and they would be like the God creator, you know? So if we could do that right now, which I just pointed out how we could do it,
yes.
Why is it crazy for you to listen, don't believe me, to think that thousands of years ago when they were building things that we can't build now and had higher technology, well, you know, why is it crazy to think that a higher race came here and did this for us? And I don't think that that's a bad thing what I'm saying, because whatever came here, whether alien, God, or whatever, because to me it's very obvious that this was created for us. And they created a beautiful place, abundant of resources, and a beautiful place for us. Even if it is an alien to me, or whatever this is. To me, this was created for us.
Well, then comes into the whole thing about God, then, you know, those that believe in God, or believe in creation, or evolution, I mean, or the Big Bang, I mean, you know, goes back to that very perplexing question. We're talking about philosophers before, like Plato, and you talk about things like the dialogues that he had done.
Atlantis.
Asking the question, like, what is piety? And they do like 50 pages, and you get back to the same spot you're at. Well, what is piety? You can't really define it. You can't describe it. You can't explain it. Just like you can't explain, you know, how the universe came. Now you can have speculation. There's no true evidence. And again, that's why, you know, we have to have, I mean, you can't even prove, you have to have faith that there's a God if you believe in God. You have to have faith that the government's doing good for you.
Because there's no evidence.
There's no evidence. That's just a joke, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not mocking people that are religious. As far as I'm concerned, I have a personal relationship with God, and I have, you know, I know, you know, I'm good with that, and my family is, and we have our own viewpoints, and everybody should. So I don't demonize the Jews. I don't demonize the Muslims. I demonize evil, and there's evil Jews, there's evil Christians, there's evil Muslims, there's evil everybody.
Yeah, even Scientologists.
And the Scientologists are mind-controlled people too. I'm sorry.
They believe in aliens.
They believe in aliens, which is nice, you know. But again, it's like a cult. So if you're with, but listen. I believe in your right to be part of that cult. I wouldn't. I mean, you know, like my son goes to Catholic school. I have very little things I agree with the Catholic Church upon. But, okay, what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to change the Catholic Church. So let people believe what they want to believe. Let them, if they wish, they can protect the church. They can say, I'm going to defend the church, like a lot of people do, as they protect, you know, the right to life while they abort.
That's what America's whole meaning was supposed to be, is about having the freedom
to believe what you want, and just don't bother me with it. In other words, don't get in way of my liberty. So don't tell me, for example. You see, this is the problem. See, we're getting into a digression here with the religion. But
it's important, though.
It is important. It's making a good point, because those that are like don't believe in aliens or do believe in aliens, it doesn't matter. You know, or believe that maybe it was God in just other forms. You would call them aliens. I mean, God is an alien. When you really break it down, I mean, he's not here. He's not from this world. Isn't that true? He created this world, so how can he be from it? So technically, in essence,
well, that's why words are very key.
The words are very key, right? But again, like, you know, all religions are full of good people. The masses that listen and worship, and they're full of bad people that are of that faith, that maybe don't worship and don't do anything, but they happen to be of that faith. All right, so you can't blame a faith. Or
it's up to the individual.
It always comes to the individual responsibility. Jean-Luc, which was the philosopher of freedom and responsibility? Jean-Paul Sartre. again, talking about philosophers, but I'm getting off the point. It's like the whole idea is that you can do whatever you want, so long as you don't hurt anybody and you're responsible for what you do. What's wrong with that? So you don't have to have this. You don't have to worry about. I mean, if you want to have you know, a promiscuous lifestyle, okay, just don't hurt anybody around doing it, and take the responsibility if you get 6 people pregnant, you know, and stuff like that. Whatever. It's just that kind of stuff. You can do what you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. That's the basic idea of the American way. I mean, I can do whatever I want so long as I'm not offending someone else's right to do whatever they want. You know. That's why some of these people that you're saying, like people that don't like to smoke, they have a right not to smell your smoke, like we talked about in that other show. Yeah. But why does the government get in the way of that and say, well, you can't smoke in the restaurant? Well, that would mean that if I was a non-smoker, I wouldn't go to this restaurant because there are too many smokers there. Yeah. It gets to be known as a smokers hangout. Yeah. I would go to the place that people don't smoke. Exactly. And the owner would say, well, I want both. So that's how they get you in this like division thing. No. You make it very simple. You have a smoke. If you want to put an ordinance that's fair, smoking restaurant, non-smoking restaurant. No, they take it where you can't even have a smoking area anymore. Now, I'm not a smoker, but I understand the rights of smokers. But at the same time, I don't want to smell smoke. So that would be infringing on my rights. Just has to be a simple median. But there is no simple median.
Yeah, that's where you don't need a law.
You don't need a law.
You know,
right? Exactly. Back to this over-litigious world, right?
Choose not to go to that place if it smells like smoke and you don't want to smell. That's that simple. But it's just
like if you go to a restaurant and there's bad food, you don't go back, right? Same idea. Yeah. You know?
And if that guy, you know, and if he's going to lose customers, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way it's supposed to go.
It's a market. It's a true free market, right? Yeah. That's why we are free market lovers here. I mean,
not the British slang for free trade, which is selling opium and this and that.
Oh, and all the other
real free
stuff.
Trade, real freedom.
But listen, I really have to compliment you, Vinny, on this information because it's really. You know, it's stuff I haven't really put a lot of thought into, and
like I said,
I'm gonna start looking into this a little bit.
I've been into it. It was to be
honest. You know a lot.
Actually, I should say the story how I got into this was actually I was on YouTube just looking at videos, and you know, you go through the videos. When the video's over, the comments come up. You know, and you know, this is the awakening period. I'm still, you know, in the beginning. You're learning so many things. Where do I go? What do I look at next? And I just see someone writing, hey, did anybody watch Old World Secrets? This movie blew my mind away, and this and that. So I was like, well, let me type this in and see what it is. So I go and I put in this video. It's still on YouTube. It's been removed sometimes new. It's called Old World Secrets.
Old World Secrets.
And what happened was there was this guy, Brandon Levon, who was... started posting these things on a site. I'm sure you heard of AboveTopSecret.com.
Oh yeah, go there a lot. Actually, a lot of our articles come from that source. And Infowars, Examiner, and a lot. There's a lot of them.
I like Coast to Coast.
And Coast to Coast with George Nuri's stuff is great, and also, of course, just to plug these great news organizations that not all. See, this is where the mainstream media. You know, the news that they ignore is what we report. But some of the sources...
We're not getting paid to say
this.
Right,
exactly. Some of the sources that are mainstream are pretty good. You know, like, you know, some of them. I mean, Reuters is obviously it's a Rothschild thing. But to the strangest ability, I found some of their stuff to be pretty accurate without too much fluff. But mostly, yes. You got the Examiner. You've got... oh boy, well I always list them, I always mention them as we finish the articles, but there's a lot of great writers out there, liberty writers out there that are, you know, American Free Press, and there's just so much, so much. And the stuff that they don't let you know. I mean, that information yesterday was amazing. I was angry so much about the 37 reasons why we're going to be bankrupt, the financial, and you should be angry about it. I mean, look at that research into that, the dedication of that research and the accuracy of it. Because everything that I report on, I've researched myself. I do not report on stuff that somebody else says, and I just take the news that they have and give it back, give it out to you. And Vinny doesn't do this either. You know, we give you information that we have verified and we know to be true.
That's why.
And we tell you if we're not certain. Like I said, I got stuff here. Personally, I can. You're more obviously certain on your feelings, but I can't say that.